Hello and welcome. Welcome to Everything is Energy. Welcome to the full moon in the sign of Leo, which is exact on February 12th at 5:53 a.m. Pacific time. Lots of energy coming through on our planet at this time. And during this full moon, this is no exception. Full moons are always times of opposition between the sun and the moon. We have the Luna in Leo, as I mentioned, and we have the sun in the sign of Aquarius. So, Luna in Leo, Leo is fixed masculine fire, ruled by the sun. And this opposition between the sun and the moon has some opportunity for us to flow energy. Oppositions also, during a full moon, can show us what needs to be changed, what needs upgrading, what's not working. Full moon in Leo offers us a dose of courage. Leo is the sign of the lion that is led with its heart. Leo is dignified. Leo is self-confident, committed, and has high standards. So whatever it is that is illuminated in our lives by the light and the energy of the full moon can be met with this type of regal, courageous, confident, committed, high standards energy. Also, as I mentioned, Leo is ruled by the sun, and we have the sun in the sign of Aquarius. So this is the opportunity for us to feel our ego, our identity, our external self, really be willing to want to take on the mantle of Aquarius and the collective, Aquarius and unity consciousness, realizing that there's nothing lost when we embrace unity consciousness and oneness. And so part of the opposition is the realization that we fear losing ourself. We might fear losing some aspect of the ego, but we will see the benefits intrinsically of connecting to everyone and everything. And now there's a lot of energy in Aquarius with this full moon. We have the sun conjunct Ceres and Mercury. We also have Chariklo and Pluto in the sign of Aquarius. I'm going to focus on the sun, Ceres, and Mercury because this is a pretty tight conjunction. And it's worth exploring the energetic of Ceres. Ceres is modernly known as the Roman goddess of agriculture, grain, fertility, the love of a mother for her child. Her Greek equivalent is Demeter. And Demeter is the same, the goddess of fertility. She's also the mother of Persephone. And this conjunction is interesting because Ceres and Demeter's myth are inextricably linked to her daughter, Proserpina to the Romans, Persephone. Proserpina to the Romans, Persephone to the Greeks, excuse me. And well, let's touch on this myth. There's a little bit of a dark aspect that I'm going to offer is potentially up for revision. The myth goes that Persephone is out picking flowers sometime in spring, presumably, and the ground opens up and Hades/Pluto snatches her against her will, kidnaps her, and takes her to the underworld. And when Ceres, Demeter, realizes what's happened, she becomes so sad that the goddess of fertility stops allowing things to grow, stops allowing everything, including food, to grow. And it's not until she reaches an agreement with Pluto to release her daughter for 6 months of the year so that Persephone can spend 6 months of the year above ground with her mother and 6 months of the year below ground with Pluto. It's not until that agreement's reached that Ceres reinitiates the growing of food, the growing of everything. I offer, and see what resonates for you. Take what you like, leave the rest. But the idea of the kidnapping and the snatching against her will is up for revision. This is a story at its base it tells the story of the seasons, the reason for the seasons. And it's possible that Persephone didn't go against her will, that potentially she saw, just like her mother in the harmony of the four seasons, she saw the need to spend half of her time in the living world above ground and half of her time tending to the underworld. A little bit like a yin-yang symbol. So it's interesting to have Ceres show up conjunct Mercury and the Sun, because if part of the real myth, not as told by Greeks and Romans, but I offer potentially an older, more authentic myth, if this is about the seasons, and if this is about the harmony of growing food, if this is about, for Persephone, the harmony and the expansion of the necessary to have light and dark. And I think we can all agree that each season has a purpose. Winter is not evil and sad. It is a time of turning in. It's a time of rest. It's a time of reset to prepare for the energy of spring. So if winter's not bad, then we can see that Ceres' myth is just an explanation of divine timing and balance. And as such, this conjunction is really interesting because the Sun conjunct Ceres, conjunct Mercury, is signaling that there's something about our 3D communications and our physical world, ourselves in the physical world, that is ready for a new sort of download about the expansion of light and dark, about the timing, the divine timing of everything. So I offer that this in Aquarius is actually, again, a bit of a supportive blessing, reminding us in some larger picture level that everything is always unfolding. Everything is always unfolding in divine timing. And that's one of the things that I love about astrology, because it shows us the energetic of what we see playing out in our world. So let's get back to the opposition between the Sun and the Moon. Sun in Aquarius opposite Luna in Leo. They are both squared by Uranus in Taurus. This is called a T-square, and this is more breakdown to breakthrough energy. So Uranus is square both the Sun and the Moon, conjunct Algol, and also conjunct Sedna. And Uranus reminds us that we are the revolution. We are the high technology we seek. And to have Uranus conjunct Algol and approaching what will later be a very tight conjunction with Sedna, this is big, guys. This is subtle, but it's big. And if Uranus is the revolution and reminding us we are the high technology, we are the change we seek, conjunct Algol, which is the third eye of Medusa, the goddess that sees truth. And I'll skip the revision of the myth, but I would offer that she only turned men to stone when they were saying or doing something that was untrue, because her third eye could see the truth. So this is telling us something about the nature of the expansion, the nature of the changes that we are moving through, the nature of the squaring and the breakdown to breakthrough energy. We also have the conjunction with Sedna that's coming exact, not right now, but it's definitely being activated right now. Sedna is the Inuit goddess of creation. Also has a little bit of a dark myth, but she's the goddess that provides all the food to the Inuit people. And Sedna's myth also points to the expansion of light and dark, yin and yang. In her myth, out of darkness comes light, comes nourishment, comes food. All of this in the fixed feminine earth sign of Taurus. So this is signaling a little bit of a huge Uranian transformations are revolutionary. In an earth sign, this is about Gaia's rebirthing herself, Gaia's reharmonizing herself. and also reminding us that we are the change. And we're going to be invited to and supported, and I would offer on a very deep subconscious level, just ushered into a time when we know we want to embody that. Conjunct Algol, we're gonna know in our bones that truth matters. Conjunct Sedna, we're gonna remember that the universe, once again, there's a theme here, is always held in balance. That being said, we still have Mars in the sign of Cancer being very active. And Mars has been active, retrograde, stationing. This began in early October last year, and this energy's not really gonna shift until the end of April this year. But right now, during this month, we have Mars grinding into one particular degree for 4 weeks. Mars at 17 degrees of Cancer. And Mars is known to be what's called in its fall in the sign of Cancer. What does that mean? It means it's the most uncomfortable, shadowy side of Mars. And if we think about it, we can compare what's opposite of Cancer is the energetic of Capricorn. Mars is exalted in Capricorn because Capricorn, if we think about the sure-footed mountain goat, Capricornian energy constrains the shadow side of Mars, which is chaos and war, and turns that into action, which is the uplifted side of the divine masculine side of Mars. Mars in Cancer, not so much. Cancer, cardinal feminine water. Mars isn't so comfortable there. Mars is ruled by Aries, and Aries is cardinal masculine fire. Cardinal feminine water is very different, very sensitive, very emotional. Mars is likely pinging our own emotions and showing us in the collective divine masculine that somehow someone, something, some energetic is stirring up hot emotions. So all of this talk about divine balance, right timing, and this unignorable aspect in this chart, but also, as I'm mentioning, this energy started in October last year, and it's going to be with us until April. Hot, chaotic, conflict, inducing, maybe even warlike emotions. So ultimately, we're being invited to work with this energy. Just like squares aren't necessarily bad, it's about what we do with what we're presented with. So this, I would like to offer, is a tremendous opportunity. I was mentioning in an online gathering that the chaos that we might feel in the world right now is a gift, in the sense that now more than ever, every single action that we consciously take can be so powerful in the future because of the chaos and the lack of structure and things being shaken up. What we do moment to moment to moment to moment now more than ever matters. And there's a little bit of that lesson here with Mars in Cancer and Mars grinding back and forth through Cancer from October until April. So it can be good, but it's going to be important for us to be in the process, to be present. And I would offer there's an element again of seeing truth. And what's pretty nifty about this challenging aspect is we also have a conjunction with Mars right now. Sirius is conjunct Mars. Sirius is known as our spiritual sun. It's the brightest star in the night sky. And I've talked previously about how Sirius and our sun are in sort of binary orbit, where Sirius takes the energy from the central sun, filters it, and gives it to our sun. And then our sun beams that energy, filters it to us. So again, Sirius conjunct Mars is signaling that there's this larger picture. The cycle of the relationship between the sun and Sirius is an over 20,000 year cycle. And the idea is the closer that the sun and Sirius get, that is the time when the information can be very easily transferred between the sun and Sirius. That is the time when humanity goes through an ascension period, coming out of dark times into light times. We are living in those times, but we are the change. And so, to have this conjunction here, I think is very fortunate. Again, signaling, reminding us of these larger cycles, these big picture projects. And the message is sort of like, just because we feel like we're in chaos, we may feel like the world as we know it is changing too quickly. If we can stay present, remember that we are the change, and stay connected to the flows of energy and to the truth, to our truth, to the collective truth, and stay in that energy, that challenging work will turn into a blessing. And I would offer that those blessings are going to show up later on this year, but we've got to be willing to do the work right now, even if we're tired, even if it's overwhelming. To realize that this sense of change, and we're in this rebirthing process, is a tremendous time of seeding and opportunity. We also have one final aspect I want to talk about in this chart is Neptune conjunct the North Node. And Neptune is going to be one of the biggest transits of the year, later this year. But let's focus first on Neptune conjunct the North Node. The nodes in January just changed signs. The nodes inform the downloads from our eclipse seasons, and this full moon is taking place just before an eclipse season that happens in March. And so we have new energy with the nodes changing signs. The North Node used to be in Aries, now it's in Pisces. So we're moving from the I am energy into the last sign of the zodiac, more about the collective, more about karma, more about the lessons. Have we been doing the work? Have we been staying in our truth, staying present, responding with truth to everything around us? And to have the North Node conjunct Neptune in the sign of Pisces, Neptune, the planet of illusion and delusion. So this is potentially inviting us to realize that part of what we're moving through is healing and seeing through the illusion and delusion. Neptune rules Pisces. Neptune is very comfortable in this sign. And Pisces is mutable feminine water. It's about giving to others for peace. It's about helping others. It's not an Aquarian sign, but it's got a similar energetic note that works well with the collective. So to have Neptune conjunct the North Node before our eclipse seasons is really wonderful. And as I mentioned, I believe one of the biggest transits of this year is going to be Neptune leaving Pisces and moving into Aries, and also Neptune and Saturn conjoining, both leaving Pisces and moving into Aries. That's going to be starting to play itself out this summer, and it's going to be really strong early next year. But this conjunction, Neptune North Node, is gonna give us a glimpse of what type of transformative reset, big picture shifts we're going to be moving through and be able to work with during eclipse season. And I would offer that because it's the sign of illusion and delusion, and because it's at the anaretic degree of Pisces, there is a shadow side to this, and it's a little bit like being overwhelmed, being transfixed, almost like a spell, but not a spell. It's just a very magnetic energy, and this is signaling that it's okay to feel overwhelmed. But what are we to do? Mars and Cancer, that same kind of challenge. Stay present. Feel for our truth. Remember that it is up to us to decide what we feel is true. And I also want to offer that our sensitivity, our ability to read subtle energy, our ability to know in the core of ourselves what is true for us, what we feel to be true, it's connected to the magic of our humanness, the beauty of our consciousness, that we are the creators. So we're moving through a time of illusion and delusion in a shadow aspect as Neptune's moving through the final degrees of the last sign of the zodiac before it enters into Aries. So before we get to meditation, I will just close with, again, the reason why I just love astrology so much is it says it's okay to have all the experiences that we're having. The planets are showing us that this is a part of a much larger dance. And we can know that we are the change and that we are in the midst of a change. And this, as I mentioned in an earlier podcast several months ago, that kicking off at the end of 2024, into 2025, into 2026, all the outer planets are changing signs. That's unheard of. It's a massive energetic shift. It's a time for rebirth. And we're here. We signed up. Our souls incarnated in these bodies in this lifetime because we knew something magical and powerful was afoot. That being said, meditation is a really wonderful tool. And now more than ever, it is important for us to tend to ourselves, to tend to our energy, to tend to our internal world. And before we start the meditation, I will just share that I have started a free online community for like-minded and like-hearted folks to get together, to meditate. There's lots of free meditations up there for you. We have Sunday gatherings where we talk about energy, come together, people from around the world, to support each other, to be together in this time of transformation. So I'll put a link in the show notes if that happens to interest you. For now, go ahead and find a quiet space where you can sit comfortably and close your eyes. And as you close your eyes, turning your awareness inward to your internal world, breathing in, calling your consciousness, your energy, home, inward, to this precise moment. And as you turn inward, just notice the landscape energetically. How are you at this moment in time? No judgment, just checking in. And using the breath as the magical tool that it is, breathing in, taking in fresh air, fresh prana. breathing out, releasing stale energy. Anything that was stuck and is ready to be released leaves with the exhale. And let's spend a few moments here just simply with the breath. And allow the breath to begin to be a nourishing experience for you. Every moment of every day, you're either taking in fresh air, fresh energy, this now moment, fresh prana, or you're releasing stuck energy, fear, anything that's ready to go, whether it's known or not. And as you're breathing, begin to consider the miracle of the breath, the miracle of you and your body breathing. Every moment of every day, whether you're thinking about it consciously or not, you are exchanging energy. So the advantage of humanity in our consciousness and remembering how powerful we are as creators is to do this, I'll use the word again, consciously. And I invite you to imagine that there is, beyond your physical body, there's your energetic aura, there's your field. Depending on the person and the circumstance, it extends about 2 feet to 4 feet to 6 feet out. But imagine that you're surrounded by this energetic field. And now imagine that, as is the case, the energetic field opens out the top of your head and out the bottom beneath your feet. And connect down into earth. Imagine that you're sending energetic roots down into Gaia. You can send them down as deep and as wide as you'd like. And as you're connecting to Mother Earth, as I mentioned, she is the macrocosm to our microcosm. We are the microcosm to her macrocosm. She is going through a transformation. And we are a reflection of that. We are going through a transformation. So just when you're sending your roots down, feel her presence, feel her wisdom, feel her energy, receive her nurturing and her light. And you can pull her light up, her nurturing energy up through your roots into your field. And see if as you're doing that, and you can allow this light to come up into your field, up into your legs, up into your body, up into your heart. And let that light nourish your heart. And see if you can feel the wisdom and the divine timing and the bigger picture knowing of Mother Earth going through a rebirth, a restructuring. Taking in more of that light, let it now nourish and nurture your heart, but let it surround you up to the top of your head, up above your head. Feel yourself bathing and basking in this beautiful golden light from Mother Earth. And this light is a communication. And just as a mother knows her child, tends to her child, nurtures her child, knows more than anybody what that child needs, Mother Earth is the same. She knows you. And receive from her the precise dose of light, nourishment, support, energy that you need. Take it into your heart, take it into every aspect of your being. And now also, I mentioned our aura opens at the bottom and at the top. So now, from the top of your head, receive the light from the stars, the light from spirit, the light from the cosmos, the energy, the codes that are coming through from the precise cosmic alignment of this full moon. Just as Gaia knows the bigger picture, the universe, the cosmos sees the bigger picture. And receive from above the precise dose of energy and light and love from above. Let it come down through the top of your head. Let it move down into your chest, again, into your heart, and receive this sort of a different kind of nurturing nourishment. It's the big picture from the universe. A different kind of cosmic love. Receive it into your heart. And notice what color this light comes in. Maybe it's a single color, maybe it's white with different sorts of rainbow colors. Whatever you're receiving is precisely what you need. And let this light now surround you. Move all the way down to the soles of your feet and fill your aura. So you're being nourished from above and below, with light and with energy, and with the wisdom of knowing that you're always held and you're always supported, and that you're known, and that you're here during a transformational time on our planet. And now back to the breath, breathing in through your nose. Imagine you're taking this energy in from above and below, and as you exhale, anything that is not this leaves with the exhale, leaves your body and leaves your field. And I invite you to consider that just as our physical body is always breathing, our energetic body is also always receiving and sending out energy. That's what all the chakras are doing every moment of every day. And the chakras we're working with here are the one beneath our feet and the one above our head. And so see if you can just embrace the idea of energetic breathing, receiving this light. And just as the yin-yang symbol reminds us, you can send out any fear, any heaviness, any stuck energy, anything that is not this light with the exhale, and know that somehow, wherever it goes is a part of the divine cosmic balance. But you get to choose this moment to receive this light from Mother Earth and from the stars. And now I invite you to use your consciousness and cultivate for the next little bit of time a feeling that you choose: peace, grace, love, compassion. Whatever comes to mind that your soul feels is what you need and what you want to radiate at this time. Choose it and begin to cultivate that emotion, that feeling, that energetic vibration. And feel, just as the energy that comes from the stars is limitless, the energy that comes from the earth is limitless, that your decision to choose peace, choose grace, Choose love. Choose compassion. That is your gift to yourself, to the world, to the universe. And we'll spend just a little bit of time here really getting a clear sense of how whatever you're cultivating really feels. Peace, grace, love, compassion, anything else. And now, as everything is energy, see if you can feel it reverberating throughout your field, throughout your aura, in every cell of your body, in every aspect of your field. There's this vibration that you're choosing. And you're still nourished from below and nourished from above, and you're making the conscious choice to choose peace, grace, love, compassion, anything else that resonates for you. That is your gift to yourself, that is your gift to the world, that is your gift to the universe. And as I mentioned earlier, these are powerful times. So making this choice as often as we can, choosing to cultivate, choosing to vibrate peace, love, grace, compassion. We are creating the world we are choosing to live in. We are creating tomorrow right now. Everything about today is simply a product of the past. And as we're moving through these times of rebirth and transformation, choosing peace, love, compassion, grace is such a potent thing. All right. Thank you all for joining me. Now, more than ever, I am so grateful for this global community of like-minded and like-hearted souls who are co-creating a beautiful world. Hundreds of countries, thousands and thousands of people across time and space coming together to choose to vibrate, to choose to feel, to choose to send out. Whatever it is that is your choice, your gift to yourself and the world. Peace, love, grace, compassion. Anything else, I'm grateful for you. If you happen to want to check out the free online community, the Everything is Energy community, there's daily meditations, there's live gatherings. I'll put a link in the notes. Blessings and love, and happy full moon.